What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome back to the mobile gaming recap for the third week of March. So leading up to this video, we had a few new releases, but the new releases do not stop there. This week we have a potential sleeper hit on the way, and then next week we have a title that has a ton of hype behind it. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get in to the mobile gaming recap. So let's go ahead and start this video off with the biggest release of last week, Linde the Lightbringer by Nexon. So this was a brand new hero collector that had a pretty good degree of hype surrounding it, but I would argue that a lot of that hype came on the back of the fact that this game had such a unique and striking art style, but I'm not saying that as a bad thing. Right now, the hero collecting genre is getting very crowded. It's getting very crowded with good games, and it's getting very crowded with the corpses of bad games. So whatever you got to do to set yourself apart in this genre to get eyeballs on your game, do it. And Linde the Lightbringer actually did a fantastic job on it. Everyone was talking about this game's art style, and they did a really good job kind of showing off Leora, who does a really good job of kind of encompassing what this game looks like at its core. So far, so good. Also from a content standpoint, this game pretty much had everything you're looking for, right? It had story, it had side story, it had multiple levels of daily resource grinds, it had raids, PvP. It even had a feature where you could trade characters with other players, a feature that I see lots of people asking for in other hero collectors. So far so good. However, for FG3000 personally, you guys know what I always say when it comes to a hero collector, they can really only be as fun, you know the rest. And once I actually started looking at the characters in this game, and I saw, for me, the characters just really lack that wow factor for me. I didn't really see any character, had I would have pulled them out of like a 4 and 5 star gacha, to really get me excited for them. So you're starting to lose FG a little bit when it comes to characters. And then on top of that, the optimization of the app was very poor. The loading times were extremely long, even down to just pressing the UI elements in the game. Like if you pressed a button in the game, you would like second guess yourself, like, did I press it? Did I not press it? Because all of like the inputs were very lagged. And this was across multiple platforms. Every single time I record a video, I try to record it in BlueStacks and LD Player first. And if I can't record in one of those platforms, then I record on my phone. So I tried it on 3 different platforms, and they were all laggy with the same extremely long loading time. So hopefully they can get that figured out. This game still has a decent feature, I would say. I think a lot of people are still going to be downloading and trying this game out because of the art style is so striking. So they're always going to have that for them. So let's see what Nexon does with this title. I know for a fact Nexon is trying to find like that winning hero collector that they can be proud of, something that's going to be at the top of the charts on everybody's mind. So far they don't have it just yet, but I do know that they do have more games up their sleeve, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So moving right along to Attack on Titan Assault. Now before we get started, there was a little bit of confusion. Some people were trying to download some other Attack on Titan game that cost $1. This is not that game. If you want to play this game in particular, ensure you're downloading Attack on Titan Assault by GameSamba. GameSamba does have permission to use the Attack on Titan license. They also have permission to use Fairy Tail, Star Trek, Tokyo Ghoul. So if you want to play the officially licensed Attack on Titan game, this is the one that you want to download. So with all that being said, Attack on Titan Assault is a QTE combat system game. Now I know I lost a lot of people out there like, wait a minute, FG, QTE as in quick time event combat? Yes, it is. Now I know, when I first started playing this game, I was immediately put off, like, really, QTE combat? I've never seen anything like this. But for the people out there that kind of play a majority of these games on autoplay anyway, that actually shouldn't be a deal breaker at all. In fact, it's probably a bonus, because the QTE combat is a lot more exciting to watch because of the fact that it's kind of like all over the place, and they're using acrobatics and jumping off buildings and slashing things that you will not get in kind of like a standard, you know, stiff JRPG turn-based type of system. So on one hand, if you're an Attack on Titan fan and you wanted more of like an action RPG, more engaging combat system, you're not going to be really happy with the QTE combat. However, on the flip side, if you are totally fine with more passive gameplay, kind of playing the game mostly on auto, I think you might actually appreciate the combat system because, like I said, it's just more visually appealing. Overall, the game ran well. It's a little sloppy, a little janky. When it comes to GameSamba titles, for whatever reason, they just have a degree of jank jank. There's like missing sound effects and some of the things don't really line up very well, and overall it's not a very polished experience, but it does work. It loads quick, it has all the characters that you're looking for, but it does have a VIP system, so you're gonna have to kind of weigh all of those things together. Do you really want to play an Attack on Titan game, or are you the type of player that's really cool with more passive gameplay because the QTE combat isn't really going to be that engaging? Are you okay with a little bit of jank in your game, and do you like endless runners a little bit? Maybe if you answer yes to all those questions, then you definitely play Attack on Titan Assault. There you go. Nickelodeon SuperBrawl universe. Now, as soon as I saw this game pop up on the pre-registration on my Android store, I clicked that button so fast. I was really looking forward to this game. I knew it was gonna be kind of like a Contest of Champions ripoff, but I didn't know it was gonna be a Contest of Champions game at its very bare minimum. And even the pieces of Contest of Champions that it did rip off, it didn't really do a good job of. Like, the controls themselves were not snappy, they were very unresponsive, so that's already a strike. In addition to that, they have this amazing Nickelodeon universe with some of the coolest, most iconic characters of all time, and they decided to not use any voiceovers at all. Like, the personality of these characters are their biggest strengths, and the fact that they didn't get any of like the voiceovers or any like the little cool quips that these characters do, I think was just like what a big miss. What you're left with is just like a bare bones version of Contest of Champions with worse controls. I don't think that's very compelling at all, and looking at the review of this game thus far is kind of in the 3s at the moment, and when you have a game in the 3s on the mobile store, there's something going on. Even the terrible games get like a 4.5 or something like that, so doesn't seem like anyone else is kind of feeling this game at all. It's a hard pass for me, but it's out there, Nickelodeon SuperBrawl universe, if you want to give it a shot. And the final big release of last week was Era of Legends, a brand new mobile MMO, complete with auto questing, auto pathing, auto combat, auto grinding gameplay. However, to this game's credit, all the autoplay can only be used in the overworld areas. Once you're inside of a dungeon and once you're inside PvP, you cannot use autoplay. So the autoplay only takes care of like the boring quests where you have to go kill 10 spiders and 10 wolves and go collect pork butts and things of that nature. That's the only thing the autoplay helps you out on. Once you're actually in PvP, once you're doing dungeons and raids, you have to play on manual. So do keep that in mind. Also, this game does probably the best impression of World of Warcraft that I've ever seen in any game ever. And I mean, even on PC. This is the best looking World of Warcraft clone I have ever seen. There are some aspects of this game that look like Blizzard made it. Like that's how good they are. Had I like put them side by side and kind of tried to trick you, like which one's a bootleg game and which one's a Blizzard game, I guarantee even people that have been playing WoW for like 10 years would still get them confused. That's how good they copied the World of Warcraft. So is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I gotta be honest that when I was playing the game, I was having a ton of fun just kind of looking at how they recreated old locations from the World of Warcraft. Like there are some places in there that look exactly like Goldshire, that look exactly like Stormwind. They have a dungeon that's a mix between Whispering Caverns and Dead Mines. Like it was just like, it just kind of reminded me of like watching a remake of a classic movie. Like everything looked familiar, but it was all brand new. And it was kind of compelling, I'm not gonna lie. So if this is your type of game and you wanted something with like a different skin, maybe a World of Warcraft skin, maybe you're like an old veteran of World of Warcraft and you want to play a game for free that kind of reminds you of it, I say give this one a try, especially if you don't mind the automation of all the overworld activity. So Era of Legends is now available on Android. However, the iOS version is delayed a little bit. They're still working on it. An open beta is coming soon, so you definitely want to stay tuned to that game's Facebook page so you're up to date. So that will do it for all the currently released titles. Moving on to future releases right around the corner in 2 days, Evertale. Now this is the title that I was talking about earlier that's either going to be a sleeper hit or a sleeper fail, because there is not a lot of information about this title at all. If you like go to YouTube, like, well, you're already at YouTube. If you go to YouTube search bar right now and you type this game in, there's like little to no gameplay videos on this game at all. The only thing that I know about this game comes from the developers, and basically they say this is like a RPG where you can collect and evolve over 200 different monsters. That's all I got on this game. I have nothing else, but in 2 days I will. So of course stay tuned to my channel and I will be there day one with the first impressions of Evertale. So in what would be the biggest release of the month of March, Valkyrie Anatomia may have a release date of March the 28th. So here are all the caveats. This date comes from the iOS store. It does not come from the official developer or publisher, the Facebook page, the Twitter page, none of that. However, this is what I think. So in the past, like GameStop, for example, they would all the time kind of guess the release date of major titles, like famously Red Dead Redemption 2. They always had like some guess that was like years down the line on when this game was gonna come out. However, I don't actually see iOS doing things like that, especially when it comes to just like a random game like this. Like this is not like, this is a big title for us, but this is not like a massive title. So I don't really see, considering how many games are uploaded to the iOS store on a day-to-day basis, that iOS would go out of their way to guess on a release date for this title. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So as far as I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Here comes some failed prediction no jitsu. The release date of Valkyrie Anatomia will be March the 28th. Count on it, I'll be there. First impressions, see you then. Now, like I was talking about earlier, Nexon is still looking for their hero collecting hits, and maybe that title is overhit. I did not do that on purpose. This is a brand new hero collector that is currently out in Korea that's doing fantastically well over there. Right now, this game is slated for a release date here globally on the first half of 2019. So we don't really have a zeroed in date just yet, but guarantee that this game is on the way. Nexon is really trying to be a big player in this genre, so we'll see how they do with overhit. I don't really know a lot about this game. All I do know is that this game does have a collaboration with Destiny Child, so I'm already there. Day one, I'll absolutely be there. So be on the lookout first half of 2019 for overhit. So another title on the horizon that's currently slated Q3 2019 is Shining Beyond. So this is a brand new title brought to you by the team that brought you Valiant Force. Now, Valiant Force isn't really talked about that much, but it's actually a very well-received hero collector. So I'm very curious to see what this team does with another chance at kind of striking out and making a brand new hero collector. So right now you can pre-register for the game. There's not really a lot of screenshots or video on this game just yet, but considering the pedigree, I think this is probably going to be a pretty nice title that you guys should be on the lookout for. So as we keep the new release train going, Battle Chasers Night War is on the way to mobile as well. Now this is a full-blown RPG experience that was on PC, console, Switch. IGN gave Battle Chasers Night War an 8 out of 10. Too much war at night, but this game is on its way to mobile. Now I'm very conflicted on this one because when it comes to porting games over to mobile, sometimes the pricing is a little bit wonky. If you look at this game right now on Steam, it's $29. If they try to charge $29 on mobile, even if the game is worth it, even if the game is 100% worth it, it's gonna crash and burn. It's very hard to drop a $30 title on mobile and get people to buy it. So I'm gonna be very curious to see how the pricing shapes up on this game, but it's on the way here in 2019, and of course I'll keep you updated here on the Mobile Gaming Recap. Also, the legendary PC franchise Spellforce is making its way to mobile as Spellforce Heroes and Magic. This will be a premium app, so hopefully this game will avoid all of the pay-to-win aspects that kind of plague RTS games on mobile. And last but not least, when it comes to new releases, Call of Duty Mobile is now up for pre-registration. Now, personally, I think this game is maybe 2 years too late to mobile. I feel like it should have been here by now, but you know what? Call of Duty still has massive name recognition, so hopefully the game is good. I'll definitely be there day one with my first impressions. But that will do it for all of the new and upcoming releases. Moving on to the final part of the video, ladies and gentlemen, the quick hits. Luckily, we don't have too many. This game is getting kind of long. Epic 7 is celebrating its 3 million downloads. So they have, of course, login rewards and free goodies to jump in. So definitely give that game a try. Epic 7 is absolutely killing it when it comes to the highest grossing, highest trending, most played mobile game. So definitely worth it and definitely well deserved. Also, the game that shan't be named has added members of Wakanda, including Killmonger, as well as Alliance Wars is now here. And according to the developers, even if you're not like a super powered account, you can still participate and help your alliance in Alliance War. And last but not least, Looney Tunes World of Mayhem has new playable characters that will be added to the game. And to help usher those new characters in the game, we do have a sweepstakes that will be running. So right now I'm giving you guys the heads up. This link is not live, but it will be live in 2 days. All you have to do in 2 days place is click on that link, register. There is no purchase necessary whatsoever, and then you will be entered to win 1,000 gems to your Looney Tunes World of Mayhem account. So even if you're not playing the game right now, what I would do, I would start playing the game, get yourself an account ready, because getting 1,000 gems to your account is a very good way to start your account off right. So that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, my name is FG3000. I thank you so much for watching. Good luck in the contest. Like I said, that link is in the description below. And then, of course, Instagram.